This video is for you if you are a business owner or an entrepreneur and you know that you should be sharing more of your expertise to your network on LinkedIn, but you don't really know where the best output for your input will be, specifically with the maybe very limited amount of time that you have. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to share where you should put your energy into on LinkedIn in 2024, where you will get the most for your return or the most for your input. This is specifically for you also if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur. So I have my notes here. Let's get started. For those of you who also don't know, maybe seeing me for the first time, my name is Shanee Moret. I'm the founder of growthacademy.global. And what we do is we basically help startup founders, business owners, small business owners, entrepreneurs grow on LinkedIn through leveraging their personal brands. So first building it, leveraging it to get inbound sales. And personally, I've done this. So I have almost 1 million followers on LinkedIn and over 425,000 LinkedIn newsletter subscribers. We've also helped hundreds of other clients do the same by growing their personal brand on LinkedIn. The strategy that I'm going to share with you today, you will get the most output if you are one of this type of person. You should have at least 1,000 connections on LinkedIn. If you don't have at least 1,000 connections on LinkedIn, that's fine, but you'll get more for implementing this strategy if you do. And there are other videos that I'll do to help you get to that 1,000. But there are a lot of experts that I talk to that become clients that have 10, 20, 30,000 connections on LinkedIn and they aren't doing anything with them. So if especially you fall into that category, you could do so little and get such a return. And it's just about turning the nozzle up. You've been in the trenches, so you're a real expert. Maybe you've been doing what you're doing for 5 to 25 years, and you may even see a lack of quality content in your specific niche that is just very generic, that when you look at it, you're like, wow, this is so much more nuanced than it's being portrayed to be. And I could really pour into this, but you just don't have a system implemented to do so. And you know that you probably should be sharing more content or starting to share content if you haven't already. So the strategy I would focus on and that I advise clients to focus on when we're starting to work together is the LinkedIn newsletter. So if you have not started your LinkedIn newsletter, I want you to listen very closely. If you have started your LinkedIn newsletter, most of the things that we see people fall off, or they started with a strategy that doesn't support the main goal that they're trying to prioritize in their business. So we may have to restart from the start. So what is a LinkedIn newsletter and why do I advise this? What a LinkedIn newsletter allows you to do is reach a percentage of your LinkedIn network. So a percentage of your followers and your connections, not just on LinkedIn, but outside of LinkedIn in their inbox. So what LinkedIn will do is instead of you publishing an article on LinkedIn like it was 2 years ago, and then they maybe see it on your profile or in the feed, and then it could take forever for it to even rank on Google. What's happening now is that when you start a LinkedIn newsletter, all of your followers will get the opportunity to subscribe. A percentage will subscribe, and then those subscribers will receive all of your articles from that point forward in their inbox, which I think is very powerful because when we look at the percentage of people who may see your posts on their feed, let's say it's 5%, let's say it's 10%, let's say it's 1%, and not just see it, but actually engage with it, which it goes much lower because it is LinkedIn and decision makers don't want their engagement and their activity to be public, and they know it's public. So you may post something on LinkedIn, get no engagement, but people are actually noticing. And what the LinkedIn newsletter allows is for you to reach them in their inbox. We have a 40 to 50% average open rate of those emails, and you're just staying top of mind with more people who already know, like, and trust you in your network. This cannot be underestimated by any means. What this also will allow you to do is to prove to yourself that your LinkedIn network is not dead. There's a lot of people that come to me and they're like, I have 10,000 connections or more, but my LinkedIn network is dead. And I'm like, why do you say that? And they're like, because I posted once a year ago and nobody responded, or I posted for a month and I barely got any engagement. And again, it's going back to that may be the norm of LinkedIn, especially if you have a network full of leaders. You have to learn how to get them to engage because they may want to be more private with their activity because they don't want it to be public and they know that it is public on the platform. So if a CEO engages with a particular post, all of their network, their employees, their board of directors, whatever, will be able to see that activity, which is why people may even say to you outside of LinkedIn, hey, I've been seeing your post, but they'll never engage. I have clients that join and they're like, I've been following you for 3 years. I love your content. They've never liked a post. And it's because now they're in a position to be more public. That being said, what it allows is if you have 10,000 connections or 10,000 followers, what it allows you to do is to see, wow, 2,000 to 3,000 are active because they accepted the invitation to subscribe to my newsletter within the first 72 hours, which proves that they are active on the platform. And secondly, that they are interested in learning and receiving more information from you on a particular topic. And if you're implementing and deploying a LinkedIn newsletter strategy correctly, that particular topic should be centered around your main goal in your business. But I just want to go over the basics of like, you should be investing a part of your energy and time if you're going to start building your personal brand on LinkedIn into LinkedIn newsletters. The other thing is that you reach people that already know, like, and trust you, and you just stay top of mind with those people. And what you can start to do is really slowly educate those people as to the real problem that you help clients with and your particular expertise today, because maybe they worked with you 10 or 15 years ago. Now you're doing something different. But what you do is be specific. So that person should know, hey, if I have a friend struggling with XYZ, or if I have a friend who's leading a team that is struggling with XYZ and they need help with this, I can connect them with you. And you'd be surprised how fast this could potentially happen. So we have a client recently, she closed 2 major deals with this company, one in their American department and one in their European team. And this all happened because she started publishing LinkedIn newsletters. Someone that is in her network that also goes to her gym kept seeing her, was reminded of exactly what it is that she does, what her expertise is, went up to her and was like, hey, I think I'm going to refer you to my company because we've been needing someone with this expertise. And she closed 2 major deals because of it. So a lot of the times when you have that network that's there, you'd be surprised what weak ties in your network, second or third degree connections, will even refer you to a friend or to a friend that has a company or to someone, a decision maker in their own company. And a lot of the times people don't talk about that, the power of even receiving referrals from your trusted network on LinkedIn, just because of the quality of the people on LinkedIn, where 4 out of 5 people are decision makers. I see this a lot, especially if someone is starting a business or has started a business after maybe being an esteemed leader in corporate, is that they don't want to be bothersome. So they may not want to post a lot on their feed, like videos or text posts or polls. They want to be a little bit more conservative, and they feel that that's annoying, that may be annoying their network to reach people that don't want to be reached. So what this does is if someone says, I want to subscribe to your newsletter, you're reaching only those people. So it can remove that resistance sometimes. And if you know what you're doing, it's very possible within a short amount of time compared to what it would take on your own website to rank on something like Google and Bing. And you just have to know what type of topics to write about based on your particular expertise, what gaps to fill. It's not just about starting it. I see a lot of people start newsletters after their first, second, or third edition, they fall off. And then you'll go to their newsletter. It says created a year ago, and there's 2 articles or 3 articles within that newsletter, which you don't want, because that also could negatively affect your personal brand because it just shows lack of consistency. And you'd be surprised how important consistency is when someone is deciding between one expert and another expert with similar results, similar skills, so on and so forth. I hope that you learned something from today. God bless you and have a phenomenal day. Ciao.